A former CMPD officer is suing the city of Charlotte for discrimination, and the case is set to go to trial next month. He claims that he faced a harsher punishment than a white officer.
Eyewitness News anchor Brittany Johnson learned he was fired and taxpayer dollars were used to defend an officer accused of slandering him.
I love being a police officer because
after 16 years with CMPD, Michael Tinsley lost the job he loved in 2013. He spent 6 years trying to clear his name.
Policing was my life. This aftermath is my life.
He says it started when he reported a fellow officer was stalking him. He'd been dating Officer Amy Aquino for roughly 2 years and says when things turned sour, she started showing up to his division. Court documents show CMPD issued Aquino a directive on May 7th, ordering her not to go to his division. On the same day, she filed a report with CMPD that Tinsley had raped her a month before.
Completely caught off guard, knowing that I just told them she had been stalking me. I just told her that.
Tinsley adamantly denied the rape accusations. Both officers turned over their phone records for the investigation. They showed the two continued dating after the alleged assault, and that Aquino was on the phone with another man during the exact time frame she said the rape occurred. CMPD investigators determined the assault accusations were not sustained. But supervisors said Tinsley was dishonest during the investigation, so he was still disciplined. And unrelated to that investigation, text messages revealed Tinsley had used department equipment for personal use, so CMPD terminated him. Outraged and out of work, Tinsley sued Aquino over the rape allegations. A jury found that she'd slandered him. The city used taxpayer dollars to cover her attorney's fees and a $41,000 settlement, even though Tinsley had sued her personally, not in her role as an officer.
That appeared to me that should not have been something that the city should have paid for.
Tinsley turned to an acquaintance, attorney Robert Corbett, for advice. Corbett is not directly involved, but wondered whether, given the slander judgment, Aquino should have been allowed to continue working as an officer, making arrests and testifying in court. Under what's called the Giglio policy, the DA's office must notify a defendant if any witnesses, including officers, have issues that cast doubt on their trustworthiness.
That is information, I think, that everyone will probably agree that that's something that would affect an officer's credibility.
CMPD confirmed Officer Aquino was still working for the department as of November. Tinsley filed this federal lawsuit against the city, claiming discrimination, saying he received harsher punishment based on race.
There are officers that work for that Charlotte Police Department that have done far more severe things that are still employed.
A judge found Tinsley provided sufficient evidence to go to trial with his lawsuit. The judge wrote part of Tinsley's termination was based on, quote, allegedly dishonest behavior, and referring to Aquino, who is white, the judge wrote that, quote, CMPD is fully aware of Aquino's slander judgment, which is inherently dishonest. However, she remains employed.
And meanwhile, you're losing, your house and your credibility and your reputation. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
After struggling to land full-time work for years, Tinsley, who now works construction, wants to be compensated for his firing, tougher penalties for people who file false police reports, and fair treatment for all officers.
And that's what fighting for what's right is about. And that's what police work is.
Anchor Brittany Johnson investigating tonight. She tried reaching Officer Amy Aquino several times, never heard back. The city declined to speak on camera, but a police spokesperson answered some questions by email regarding public money being used to cover Aquino's attorney fees and settlement. The email said because the claim was related to statements that Aquino made as part of an internal affairs investigation and because she was required by the department to participate in that investigation, CMPD felt it was appropriate for the city to pay for the verdict and costs. Other comments from that police email are inside Brittany's report at our website. The discrimination lawsuit goes to trial February 11th.